The only opposition that is the only person that still have traction, that has traction is Obi. You know, the only opposition that I know that is in Nigeria, let me tell you now, the only opposition, I didn't say the opposition can win Asiwaju, the only opposition that is the only person that still have traction, that has traction is Obi. No other one, no, everybody.
What about Goodluck Jonathan?
You see,
what about Goodluck Jonathan?
Jonathan has not.
What about Amechi? What about Atiku?
I have said it generally, sir. The only. So that has answered it, sir. I have no apologies. The only voice that has traction.
Governor Fayose,
talking. That
Governor
is everywhere.
Quickly.
Despite not being in government, is Obi. I give it to him. But let me tell you, sir, all others, they are filling the gaps. Atiku is filling the gaps. All others making noise because people don't listen to them anymore.
What Fayose is saying about Mr. Peter Obi is what every one of us in this country know. But the problem with us in this country is that we don't like accepting the truth as long as we are not the person in the midst of that truth. We always want everything to be about us. Peter Obi is the biggest opposition politician in Nigeria today. There is no politician in this country that come close to Mr. Peter Obi. Peter Obi nationwide appeal even far supersede that of the president. As a matter of fact, Peter Obi should be the one sitting as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But because Nigerian politics is skewed in a way to favor the corrupt, to favor those with high war chests, those with high resources, those with huge money, so much money that they've looted from this nation treasury. As long as you are corrupt, you have a damaged reputation, you have huge resources at your disposal. I am not talking about resources that you made from your personal business. I am talking about resources that you loot from the nation resources. The people will respect you. Nigerian politics will definitely favor you. They will want you to lead over them. Bala Mohammed is the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, and he made a statement sometime this year. He said, Peter Obi is the biggest opposition politician in Nigeria, and we'll be so happy to have him back in PDP. As a matter of fact, we are doing everything possible to bring him back in PDP. And of course, you've heard of the PDP doing everything possible to bring back Mr. Peter Obi because he's the biggest opposition politician in Nigeria. But when you look at what is happening in Nigerian politics, especially the wave of defection that is going on across the country, the PDP governors, they are defecting to the APC, Labour Party politicians are defecting to the APC, you will now realize that it is not just about Peter Obi going back to the PDP. It is a matter of all the opposition politicians coming together to ensure that APC is rooted out of power in 2027. The same way APC came together to root PDP out of power in 2015. If you look at the way Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been ruling this country, he's trying to do everything possible to ensure that he destroy all the opposition parties in Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is scared of opposition. He doesn't want any dissenting voice against him. I mean, that was what he did in Lagos State. There was no dissenting voice against Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and there is no dissenting voice in Lagos State to date. Every dissenting voice in Lagos State have been crushed. You see the PDP gubernatorial candidate defecting to the APC. And now the president is doing that across board. Because explain to me like I'm a baby why political parties are defecting to the APC. APC took over Nigeria in 2015. And from that day till now, Nigerians have been going through the most excruciating pain in the history of this country. APC have destroyed the Nigerian economy. Nigerian economy used to be the biggest economy in Africa, the third fastest growing economy in the world. But Nigeria is now fourth in Africa, and their status as the third fastest growing economy in the world have been destroyed. Nigerian insecurity has increased. Boko Haram insurgency that was only contained in the northeast have now spiraled to every part of the country in the form of banditry, Fulani herdsmen, kidnapping, unknown gunmen. They are in every part of the country so far. The southeast that used to be the safest region in Nigeria have now become a hotbed for criminality. Our debt profile has skyrocketed. There are more people living in poverty than they were living under the PDP administration in 2014. Our institutions have collapsed. They are all now involved in partisan politics. Imagine a federal institution wishing the son of the president happy birthday. The National Assembly, Judiciary, INEC, security agencies, they are nothing to write home about. Nigeria have never been this worse, and all of this is caused because of APC. And the opposition party like the PDP is now decamping to the APC. APC contested the gubernatorial election in Enugu State, but the people did not deem it fit to vote for the APC gubernatorial candidate. Tinubu got 4,000 votes in the presidential election in Enugu State. The people in Enugu State don't want anything to do with APC. But yet, the governor is decamping to APC. Tell me why the governor is decamping to APC. What have APC done to warrant him to decamp to APC? And you have states like Edo State that was formerly a PDP state, but it was rigged in favor of APC. And you have the governor of that state threatening his commissioners to wear Bola Ahmed Tinubu cap to work. Like, what is the significance of wearing Bola Ahmed Tinubu cap? All of this is to show you how low our politics has gone. All of this is to show you how these people have thrown governance on the floor. The bar of governance is on the floor right now. Nigeria politics is nothing to write home about. So there is need for the opposition politicians to come together and ensure that they rescue this country. The same way APC came together in 2015 to take power away from Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. But the opposition politicians are more divided than before. Even in 2023, that was the best time for the opposition to take power away from APC. But they split. Peter Obi went to the Labour Party, Atiku Abubakar contested in the PDP. The votes gotten by Mr. Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar is enough for any presidential candidate to win the election in a landslide mode. Bola Ahmed Tinubu got 8 million votes. Atiku Abubakar got 6.9 million votes. When you add the vote of Atiku Abubakar and Mr. Peter Obi, that will give you 13 million votes. And these two people were in PDP. As a matter of fact, they were preparing for the PDP primaries in 2023 presidential election. But Peter Obi left because he couldn't compete with the money bags in the PDP and went to the Labour Party to catch a future for himself. Atiku Abubakar stayed in the PDP, won the presidential ticket, and contested as the PDP presidential candidate. Imagine the scenario if they are contested together. Imagine the scenario if Atiku Abubakar has stepped aside to support Mr. Peter Obi. Of course, I said Atiku Abubakar needs to step aside because it wasn't the turn of the North. Late President Muhammadu Buhari, as a Muslim, has ruled Nigeria for 8 years, and Atiku Abubakar was making himself available to contest as a Northern Muslim in 2023. That was abnormal. That was Nigeria's best shot at displacing off APC. That was Nigeria's best shot at putting forward a credible candidate, because that credible candidate was available. Mr. Peter Obi went to the Labour Party and showed himself worthy of credibility. He showed himself why he is the best president to lead this country out of the quagmire. Against all odds, in 6 months, this man was able to take a relatively unknown political party like the Labour Party and made it a national party. Labour Party won election in places that was difficult. Peter Obi was ridiculed that he would not be voted by the Northerners, but he went there and got significant chunk of vote, winning states like Plateau and Nasarawa State. That was a missed opportunity caused by the greed of one man, Atiku Abubakar. But the opposition politicians and parties, they have the opportunity to represent themselves again in 2027. And there have been discussions and there have been alignment. Of course, that is the reason why we are talking about ADC. There is a political party called ADC that most of the opposition politicians have adopted as the party that they want to use to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. But the ADC seems not to be serious. They are not strategic. They want to take power away from Bola Ahmed Tinubu the same way APC took power away from Goodluck Ebele Jonathan in 2015. But they don't want to do the same thing that APC did. APC presented their best candidate. APC put forward the candidate with the most appeal in the North. APC put forward the candidate with the most block votes in the North, and that is late President Muhammadu Buhari, who secured 11 million block votes in 2011 presidential election. This same Atiku Abubakar was also in the mix. He also participated in the primaries that produced late President Muhammadu Buhari. Atiku Abubakar has more resources than late President Muhammadu Buhari, but he doesn't have that block vote. He doesn't have that appeal, that cult followership that the people that wanted to form APC were looking for in the North. And the same scenario is presenting itself again ahead of the 2027 presidential election. Atiku Abubakar, Mr. Peter Obi, they are all in the same food. to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. The ADC is there. Peter Obi has shown his interest, but Atiku Abubakar also wants to contest the same way he put himself forward to contest in 2023, even though he knows that it is not the turn of the North. A Southern president is in seat, is in power. If you want to take him out, give a Southern candidate the presidential ticket. And Peter Obi has made it known that he's going to rule for just 4 years, after which power will return back to the North in 2031. That is the unwritten laws that is made known to everyone. It is a turn of the South. Allowed Southern Nigeria to rule for 8 years. The same way they allow Northern Nigeria to rule for 8 years. And Peter Obi, being the biggest opposition politician in Nigeria, has presented himself. Hand over the presidential ticket to Mr. Peter Obi, and it will be very easy for ADC to displace of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. It will be a sweet victory. All you needed to do is to back him up. Peter Obi did not do significantly well in the North, especially the Northwest and the Northeast. This is where Atiku Abubakar and all other Northern candidates that want to displace of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 comes into play. Go to the North and mobilize support for Peter Obi. Convince your people to support Peter Obi, to vote for him. Speak to them in the language they will understand. Peter Obi already have significant support in the North Central, the South South, the Southwest, the Southeast. All he needs is to make that inroad in the Northeast and the Northwest. Once he can get significant chunk of votes of that region, I can tell you for free, it will be a flawless victory for Mr. Peter Obi. Of course, he already has significant chunk of votes in Kaduna State. 2 persons in Kaduna State won their election under Labour Party in the Federal House of Assembly. It is not about Labour Party. It is because of the wave of Mr. Peter Obi, and Peter Obi can replicate that wave in any political party he decides to contest in 2027, of which right now we are talking about ADC. Peter Obi has what Atiku Abubakar does not have, that nationwide appeal, and that is what he edged Atiku Abubakar over. Atiku Abubakar may have the money, but he does not have that nationwide appeal. So if ADC does not want to listen to Mr. Peter Obi, then they should listen to Fayose. Peter Obi is the biggest opposition politician in Nigeria right now. They should hand him over the presidential ticket if they want to win the presidential election in 2027. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.